Podcast. I'm your host, Ellen Gormley. It's the Saturday edition of the 5 Minute Crochet Podcast because I have to work today. I just have one client and then I've got the whole day mostly free. I'm so excited to have a free day. And so that's great. So I'm getting ready for work. I've got my little bag here of my projects. I did not start my corner to corner yet for the new baby blanket. I'm thinking of some way to change up the corner to corner to make it different. So I need to play with that a little bit and go back to my video of how to do corner to corner. I used really, really fat, chunky yarn and made a corner to corner blanket with, I think it was Barocco Ultra Alpaca. It was blue and tan, and I mean the yarn was fat, like fat yarn, like mega chunky, super size, and it was really pretty, and I really liked it. But the yarn. Good morning, happy weekend to you, Brian. The yarn. I love Barocco yarn. I find their color palettes to be gorgeous. I love their staple yarns so much. If I only had one brand of yarn that I was allowed to use my whole life, one company, I probably would pick Barocco. And I don't know if that has anything to do with my visit to their corporation headquarters in Rhode Island. Back when I was the editor of Crochet Magazine, I got a special trip. I was able to go to Rhode Island to see Barocco's company, and it was amazing. It was so amazing, and they just have a great aesthetic that I really resonate with, and just so their offices were so tiny in terms of just like a nice little office. Maybe 8 people worked there at the time. No, this was back like almost 10 years now. Can you believe that? And then they opened the door to the warehouse. The warehouse. The warehouse. Yeah. Like everything you would imagine. Floor to forklift high shelves of yarn boxes, every color, every style. And then along the one side of the warehouse factory was machines. So like spooling up yarn, like big things of yarn, and like pulling it down and wrapping it into the spiral and donutting it up, and oh my gosh, putting the labels on, and I was in heaven for a little while. Good morning, Bonnie. It only would have been better had it been attached to my house. It only would have been better had it been like right there. But still really wonderful. And I will admit, I've never told anybody this. Are you ready? I've never told anybody this, and I might deny it, even though it's on recording. After my relationship with Annie's ended and I was no longer the editor of Crochet Magazine, I chased Barocco really hard. I wanted to work for them so bad. I was like, take me. Like, find a spot for me. I'll be a crochet designer. I'll put together your newsletter. Like, they had people to do all this. They already had people doing all of this. I'm like, I applied for jobs. I applied for the social media job. I applied for like everything. I'm like, take me. The only thing I didn't do was move to Rhode Island so that I could work there, which was not feasible for my family at the time. And I did have interviews with them. I was in talks with them. I was in talks with the owner, who I think is no longer the owner. I think they sold. Good morning, Carlene. But I wanted to work for them so badly. And like literally today, if they called me and said, hey, do you want to design, 3 projects a month for us? And I'd be like, yes. Yes. I don't even need to think about it. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, I digress. My client's not here yet, so let's go for another moment. So anyway, I think they sold, I can't remember off the top of my head who they sold to, so I don't know if I still would want to work with them in the same way that I wanted to when they were just a family-owned business. But I certainly resonate with their yarns and stuff. And I had made a corner to corner blanket out of the blue and tan mega ultra alpaca something, and I loved the process. The fiber was too loosely spun and it kind of fell apart just working with it. So not a super great blanket fiber. So that was the only instance where I felt like my yarn choice and the project choice like were really a terrible match. And so that was partially my fault. I don't know that they still even have that fiber. They tend to like rotate and discontinue yarns. But I have that video on my channel. So I'm going to go back to that video of making that corner to corner blanket and see what inspires me. I don't want to do it exactly the same. I want to find another twist on the design for this baby blanket to make it my own and make it new and make it interesting. So I'll see what I can do. But anyway, so if you want to search on the channel, I don't even know where that blanket is right now. It's a great size blanket. I love to have it as a lap blanket while I'm crocheting for sure. But I don't know where it is at the moment. But we've got construction going on in the kitchen and it just feels like the whole house is discombobulated as a result. But I'm going to go back to that video today and kind of refresh my memory of that process and see if that will inspire my brain to go off road and find a new way to do a similar but different stitch. So that's the plan for today. In the meantime, the other thing I'm doing today is I am planning on rereading the second half of this book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, which is an amazing, amazing book. And Patrick wants to read it, so I'm going to send him my copy, but I want to read the second half again before I give it to him so that he and I can talk about it, because the first half is all about Viktor Frankl, who's a psychiatrist who was a captive in the Holocaust in Germany. Yeah, it's a great book. And then the second half of the book is really meaningful in terms of like how do we find meaning in a really difficult and painful world. And it has like more modern, like outside of the concentration camps application for finding meaning in life. So obviously, I mean, this was written in the 50s, I think. 59, it's been reprinted many times. 59, 62, 84, 92, 2006. So his original one, I think, was 1959 after he survived. So anyway, that's what's on my to-do list. A little light reading. But the second half is pretty light. The first half is pretty heavy, but the second half and the application for now is really good. So if anybody wants to, have something quality to read, it's really not hard to read. And if you want to skip to the second half, I totally get it. But the first half is also very moving and important. But that's what I'm doing today. So crocheting and reading and going to get my hair cut later. Can't believe my client is not here. I might have to push a little text his way and say, hey, buddy, where you been? So I think it's hard for people to remember Saturday appointments. And I get it. So anyway, that's my plan for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. Go back and watch that corner to corner blanket tutorial if you feel like it. See if you get inspired. Also, if you go to my channel, you feel there are too many people who just look for the quick fix these days. Well, that's true, Bonnie. You know, people do. And I think that's why hypnosis is so popular right now, is because people think, oh, I could just lay there. Oh, here comes my client. And then it'll just all be fixed when I come to alertness. And it's like, well, not exactly, but let's give it a try. Okay, I have to go. Have a great day. I'll see you Monday. Bye.